Okay, welcome students in Morocco. I am here at the TESOL Conference in Dallas, Texas. So I'm going around and asking student teachers how can they help you to learn English. So I'm going around in TESOL. We are here at the exhibition. So I'm going to ask teachers. Thank you so much. Hi, Sishouqi is a friend and colleague from Tunisia. Is doing a poster session at the TESOL Conference. Sishouqi, what can you say to students of Morocco who want to learn English? Some tips as you studied teaching English to young learners.
Okay, so here what I say to kids who want to learn English, first of all, here is to love the language, okay, and to love the teacher, and to love the material used, and to be engaged and motivated, okay. So with the help of the teacher, they can be exposed to English lessons here outside the classrooms, okay. They can use the internet tools, okay. And for example, also they can get into social networks like Facebook, and they get involved in some chat rooms, okay, just they chat with kids of their own age. They use the English language, whatever the mistakes they make, so they don't have to worry about that, just they proceed and they learn English. This is, I guess, the best way to learn English here. It is like a real context here, yeah.
Concerning incorporating culture, does knowing the culture of America or the United States help them learn English?
Yes, it is like what we talk about, content-based, okay? So here it is just the content about the cultures. They learn about different cultures. We use English as a vehicle to learn about other languages and other cultures.
Thank you so much.
Other content areas.
Thank you so much. Hi, Mr. Johnson from Nigeria. From your experience as teacher of English, what do you tell your students to help them learn English?
All right, Mr. Yusuf, thank you. Basically, there are different methods we employ in getting students to learn English or to improve their English proficiency. All right, if you want to start, let's take a look at speaking. That is communicative competence. How you demonstrate communicative competence? You have to acquire enough vocabulary in your database to be able to use and to communicate very effectively. And how do you do that? Of course, you have to read simple texts, short stories, essays. This start. It's called interesting stories that will catch your attention, interest. Then, of course, you listen to programs on TV in English.
In English,
you can watch short clips, documentaries, and things like that. Yeah, YouTube and stuff like that on the internet. Of course, there are several games as well, language games on the internet, on iPads, on those devices that one could use, that one could utilize to acquire more vocabularies. Not only vocabularies, but how they are used, how they knit together to form sentences, and of course paragraphs like that. So they can listen to news in English, watch movies in English, listen to native speakers of the language, how they communicate and how they use the words. And of course they have to read as well, read stories. And again, they have to have activities, they have to interact in English, interact with members of the same linguistic group.
Thank you so much, Johnson.
Yeah.
Hi, Nafisa. What can you say to students in Morocco who have problems in learning English? As a teacher in English in Nigeria, what can you say to them?
Hello, Yusuf. I think from the TESOL Conference for students in Morocco learning English, they should try looking at things that interest them online, looking at playing video games like Trace Effects, Minecraft, World of Warcraft. Those are video games that have the English language imputed in them, and to give them sentence structure, grammar, vocabulary, and familiarize them with the US culture. Also, they can try watching short movies, animations that talk about the United States and English language.
What's some of the activities that you do with your students back home in Nigeria?
Well, we do vocabulary acquisition and testing.
Okay.
I give them a passage and I ask them to look for new words in it that they're not familiar with. Then we look for the meaning in the dictionary. We use them to construct sentences, and at the end of the week I give them a quiz to see how much of those words they can remember and use correctly.
Thank you so much. Hi Nidizda, how are you? Concerning your poster session, how can students learn a language through learning the idiomatic expressions?
Well, we all know that idioms is the most difficult part of vocabulary to learn, and that's why students have a lot of problems with learning idioms in a foreign language. But there are some successful strategies that teachers can use to model, to teach students to decode the meanings of unfamiliar idioms. So through my research, I found that some cognitive strategies were quite successful. For example, using context groups or finding an idiom analog in the first language. For example, if you're a Spanish speaker and if you find an idiom in Spanish that has the same structure or the same concept as an idiom in English, it will be quite helpful. Or if you have some idiom background knowledge, or you know an idiom in the same English language that has the similar meaning, like a synonym, so it might be quite helpful. And I think through modeling these successful strategies, teachers can help students to give some tools how to deal with unfamiliar idiomatic vocabulary. It's impossible to learn every single idiom in the language, but if you have some tools how to deal with this idiomatic vocabulary, it would be they would be successful. The students would be successful, and that's the goal of a teacher.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Dr. Andy. What can you say to students in Morocco to learn English?
Well, look around. You'll see things in English all over the place, and figure out what it means and what the implications are, what kinds of ideas it generates. Because the world is like a big textbook, and you've got so much that you can learn talking to each other and talking to your teachers or other English speakers.
Good. So looking at your poster session is like looking at the stickers outside the world, so they can have something to do in teaching and learning in the classroom.
That's right. That's right. I mean, these are things which are available to anybody. You see them on the backs of cars, and they all have some meaning. They're funny, but often they have some important ideas behind them.
Thank you so much. Hi, Dr. Robert. What can you say to students in Morocco to develop their own writing?
Hi, welcome. Well, I'd say you have to think about your identity. What do you have on your face?
Yeah.
What are you trying to show to the person that you're working with when you write? And then think about underlying, where are you coming from? So think about what you're trying to show on your face and then where you're coming from.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Amy Reuther. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and my advice for you is to work on your speaking skills as much as your writing. If you can't speak it, you probably can't write it as well. Thank you.
Hi, Lois. What can you tell to our students back home in Morocco to learn English?
Hello, students in Morocco. I love grammar, and I think it is so useful if you can learn grammar for your writing as well as your reading.
Thank you. Hello, Asma. What can you say to students back in Morocco who want to study English at the university?
Oh, hi, my name is Asma Khan. I am a PhD student at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. As an international student, when I came to the U.S., first thing I realized is that the best way to learn English or any language is to practice as much as possible, and don't be shy. You have to go put yourself out and introduce yourself to people and talk and just get as much practice as possible. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ready? Hi, my name is Gilda Martinez Alba, and the one tip I have for you is if you're really interested in any specific topic, that you find that online and read about it in English. That's my tip. So the more you read, the better you will get at English.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tu Chan. I'm from the University of Missouri in Roller. And in order to improve your English, you need to study a lot. Study on your own, using material from different sources on the internet, using your textbook, but study all the time. That's the key.
My name is Fanta Janarif. I'm from Madagascar. I teach English to high school students and to adult workers. And our focus is communication. To make students succeed in English, they have to stay motivated and to participate a lot in class. They also have to get involved by analyzing the information that they have.
Yeah, Fangerina, what can you tell to students to learn English? What can they do?
Well, to learn English, you need to get involved in your learning. You have to be independent learner. Don't always wait for teachers to help
So
you.
independent
Teacher
learning.
should be a facilitator, but should be independent.
Thank you so much. Hi, Jodias. What can you tell to our students back home in Morocco concerning your poster sessions? What can you tell them concerning learning English? What little tip can you give to them?
Okay, well, I would like to encourage them to don't hesitate to try to be creative. When you're learning a language, you often think you have to keep to the rules and you have to repeat after what the teacher said. But I want you to believe that you could create language and that you own English just as much as any native speaker does. So with my students who are Japanese, for example, they're making very elaborate role plays and dialogues, even though English is not their first language. So I encourage you to do the same.
Yeah, so students in Japan are learning through different dialogues and simulations?
Yes. I have them practice intercultural simulations that I demonstrate first, and an intercultural simulation is a kind of task-based learning in which there's a briefing in which you're explaining some concept that you want them to achieve, and then there's an experiential component in which usually you break into groups and
so do you work in groups?
You work in groups, and then you're discovering something about body language or gesture, and it's usually by being given roles that, for example, some are American, stereotypically American, and others are people from a completely different culture. In some cases, made-up culture. It could be some people from Mars who behave in very different ways, and those people have to come together and somehow understand each other.
Thank you.
I'd like to tell you about a sitcom. It's an old sitcom from American television called The Cosby Show. It's the story of an American family. The father is a doctor and the mother is an attorney. They have 5 children and live in New York. There are episodes that show them in a variety of situations. If you watch and listen, you will hear authentic language spoken slowly and clearly. And then there are great episodes to talk about after you watch. Discuss some of the key points and some of the lessons that you learn.
Thank you.